Hey guys, this is Sai from Proseek. And today we have Jordan Clark here again for another tier list. So
How you
today
doing?
we are going to do back day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So our back day exercise tier list is here. What we're going to do is put them into these four categories. So this is the criteria we're looking at. So one is going to be how effective is the exercise to build muscle. What is the safety profile of it? So the risk reward. What is the ease of mastering it? Like how easy is it for a beginner to come do these exercises, or like how easy is it to master execution of these exercises? Um, and then just how well are you able to stimulate the muscle with these exercises? So trying to take all four of those into consideration when you're making these rankings, and then we're also looking at it like as in a vacuum. So like each of these exercises by themselves, how well would they be like the primary movement to build your back?
All right.
All right, so here at the top we have Boeing 747. So if you want a huge back to take flight, you got to do these exercises. So almost in all circumstances, it's going to be a good one to have in your program. Silverback gorilla. So if you want to have a nice thick silverback gorilla type back, do these exercises. In almost all cases, it's a pretty good exercise. Maybe there are some better alternatives out there, but you're not going to go wrong by choosing them. Pre-wings. So yeah, you're starting to get lats, but not quite there yet. So maybe decent exercises. There are some uses for it, but there are probably better alternatives. And then pencil back. So straight up and down, skinny. These are probably not worth putting in your program, especially not over these other exercises. So we have about 15 here. So we're going to put some in each category. So the ones that we put in that pencil back category, even if some of these exercises are not that bad, it's just that we would not pick those over the other ones on the list. All right, Jordan.
All right. All right.
So we'll start left to right,
Got you.
and we will start with the main compound lifts. So we'll start with rack pulls.
Rack pulls. I would have to say that's probably. I'll put that in a Boeing 747.
All right, so putting Boeing and rack pulls at the top. So why is that?
I mean, essentially, it's also like a more focused back movement compared to deadlifts. Um, that being said, it's more focused on your back. So you're taking out the lower posterior chain aspect out of your lift, so there's less um that whole aspect, 50% of that movement is cut out, so it's more focused on your lower on your overall back, but also it's just focused strictly on your back and not as much on your lower body, like how deadlifts would be. Um, and also it's a bit safer as well, as people like to say. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
typically you're performing it on a rack, with a certain range of motion that's not too overly exaggerated where you have to do a lot of moving. Um, the only really safety aspect part of it is trying not to load too much weight, and trying to go too heavy more than what you should be doing at the time.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that too. It's probably one of my favorite exercises to have as like a staple back, growing your back like thickness. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, like you said, I think it's like a more refined version of a deadlift because it's like focusing exclusively more on the back part of it. And also takes a bit of the pressure off like your lower back over time because you're starting from a higher point. Um, yeah, the only thing I would say going against it would be it's not. I guess I still think it's relatively safe. And then I guess the ease of execution. How would you rate that compared to like how easy is it? Do you think for like a beginner to learn how to rack pull properly?
I mean, if they have they if they have a pretty decent motor skill and understanding on how to, just be a little bit just be coordinated, it should
Hmm.
be very easy. I You could yeah, it should be very easy for you.
Yeah,
It's
it's a pretty
typically
simple
it typically just,
pattern.
at wherever you're starting from, and then literally just pushing it against your knees and standing straight up, pushing against
Hmm.
your legs and then standing straight up, making sure it doesn't go too far out in front of you. Um, but yeah,
Okay, yeah. So then we can move into the deadlift, which is next.
mhm.
So where would you put that now?
Boeing 747.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, honestly. See, though, so going off of rack pulls and everything. yeah, rack pulls is more focused on your back, but then also when you're doing deadlifts, you are starting lower because you're at the ground basically.
Mhm.
So there's more range of motion there and more time under tension when it comes to you doing performing that lift. And in my experience, it's been extremely helpful gaining size. Is That's one of my key things is my back, and I always did deadlifts. I always did deadlifts. When I first started, back in 2020, when I first started actually competing, even before that, I was deadlifting. Even in football, when I was even um, thinking closely to even thinking about bodybuilding
Mhm.
in high school, I was doing deadlifts. So it's always had its uses. Also, it's really extremely hard to learn, especially when it comes to your ego as well, like managing your ego along with that lift, because you can hurt yourself. Um, hurt myself plenty of times, but at the end of the
So
day,
do you think that that would take it down a tier because it's super effective if it's hard to learn and easy to injure yourself?
it's hard. I say it's hard to learn. Like it also goes to with rack pulls. If you just have bad motor skills and you're not really good with like what was the word I used before?
Coordinated.
Yeah, if you're not really coordinated, it's gonna be hard to learn. I'm an athlete. I've always been a form guy, so I kind of picked it up pretty easily.
Mm.
Also, you don't have to go heavy. You don't have to go crazy heavy. You can stay light and then build your way up like anybody should be doing anyway. Um, like I said, mainly it only becomes really dangerous is when you don't warm up and you put your ego in there, which in my opinion, if you're new to this, you shouldn't be doing it at all. So you should be staying light.
Okay. So
It's fairly easy to learn, in my opinion.
if you were to pick one over the other, which would you do then?
I always do deadlifts all day, all day.
Um, well, then we will go to a barbell T-bar row.
Barbell T-bar row. You know what? I'll probably put that in silverback
All right. So
T-bar.
yeah, this is my favorite back exercise. It's been my staple for probably 12 years.
Mm,
But yeah, I think it's really good because I don't really feel this in my lower back as much as other exercises like the deadlift or rack pull because I feel like the way you're able to kind of leverage it, it takes a little pressure off your back.
mhm,
Um, the thing I guess working against it is that the range of motion can be limited because you have like if you have like big 45-pound plates on there, like when you pull, you can't pull back as far because like it hits you in the stomach.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think I could see it being in silverback or Boeing 747 because I think it's a really good exercise. But I guess the range of motion would be a limiting thing. I do think it's relatively safe and easy to learn too. But yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah. So wait. This is T-bar row or just barbell, or is it barbell
Yeah,
row?
like a barbell T-bar row. So like when you have it and the landmine and like you have the V
Oh,
attachment.
like the lamb. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, all right. That one. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say. Yeah, I almost say the same thing. It's not hard to learn. It's fairly easy to learn. Is You all do have a limited range of motion. Because when you add weights on this, you got to put like lesser weights. But then when you put lesser weights, you to get that
Run out of
heavier
space
weight,
too.
you run out of space.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely has its place. It's a good alternative in my opinion, but it's also a really great staple as well. Still, um, I prefer other rowing variations over it. Um, but I did them for years, so I still like them a lot.
Yeah. So you would definitely put the deadlift and rack pull over this one.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
most definitely.
Um. All right, then we'll go to single arm dumbbell rows.
Uh, So for me at least, it's a great back movement. Um, I personally don't get like a crazy contraction out of it. Like I can move it slow, I can move it fast.
Hmm.
It's never been like the most, how I say, like efficient efficient workout. Just because mainly when you perform it, like I wouldn't put this as like a beginning compound
Hmm.
movement. Typically, I would do these. halfway through my workout. Um, so and also for a stabilization standpoint as well, I even saw a video before the like I kind of get a lot of ab activation in
Hmm.
this, and a lot when it comes to the twist and everything. So to be honest, it's not really I can't really lock in onto my lats properly. Because if I was going to do something single arm like that, I would stick to a cable, something with more constant tension, and be able to go through the range of motion properly and not have to worry about my balance and the weight getting in the way and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I actually agree 100% with that. Like I think it's like, a lot of people do them. Like I think it's a good exercise, but yeah, I have the same issues with it as you, where it's like it feels a bit awkward to like get into the right position, and then I don't feel like a crazy good contraction with it. And you do feel a lot of like the twisting can put a little bit pressure um on your abs, and yeah, it's just and it takes a lot more time. Like you said, it's not as efficient. So it takes a lot more time to do one arm at a time versus like these
Uh,
other ones we just talked about where you don't have to do that. Um, so yeah, it's a good exercise, but yeah, I don't think I would put it as like my staple single movement that I would do for back day. So I
right.
think that's a good spot for it. Okay, so next we have just like the traditional like barbell bent over rows.
Barbell bent over row. I probably put that row. I probably put that silverback. I wouldn't put it in Boeing 747 because I just don't feel like for encompassing your entire back, I feel like this always aims more towards your lower back more. As much as I do these, like you could do them higher and raise your bring the weight up to different spots on you, but always with the range of motion. Unless you're doing these extremely slow with lighter weight, um, there's a lot more aspects in movement involved, which I just feel like is detrimental later on because you're kind of having to almost jerk the weight up. And if you get an, or also you're incorporating, I mean, you incorporate these things too into other lifts, but like your grip, also your range of motion in your wrists sometimes takes a toll out of the lift. Because when bring the bar up higher, it always seems to be I have to come up a bit higher to
Hmm.
get the weight up because my wrist end up starting hurting because I'm trying to get it to my chest and I don't really feel a contraction. You can do them slow, but
But then it puts
I
a lot of
would,
pressure on your lower back too.
yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. Um, it just it just takes a little bit too much time. But you can do them, like I said, after like a rack pull or deadlift. Um, Still, I do them. Um, but I just feel like not as like a main movement 100%.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with that. I actually don't do these at all anymore. Probably in the past 5, 6 years, just because, yeah, the biggest stressor for me, like the biggest limiting factor for me, was always my lower back on this. Where like even if the I could row the weight well, like my lower back be pumped the rest of the workout.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I just did not like doing those. Instead of like, I definitely prefer doing something like plate loaded or something like that for um as a movement, or I prefer the T-bar row also just because there's a little less pressure on my lower back.
Uh-huh.
But but yeah, still a good exercise objectively, like if you could do it correctly. But I do think it's a little hard to do it correctly as a beginner.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people like to just pull the weight up and jerk
yeah,
it up.
there's
They don't
jerk
really
it up,
understand.
and that kind of increases the risk of injury, and you're not really going to get much benefit in your back from doing it that way. So, um, yeah, I would put it here, or I could even potentially see it in the pre-ring category. So we'll see after we add in everything else if you want to move anything around.
Right.
Um, but now we'll go into a cable row. So this is like a same thing, but yeah, with cable two hand.
Uh, I probably put cable row. I probably put cable row in silverback, but I put it ahead of dumbbell rows just because of the stretch aspect of the movement, and then you're able to come yourself erect straight up and be able to get a great contraction out of it. And then it's pretty easy to adjust where your hand position it could be, also along with the attachments as well. different attachments. Pretty versatile in that aspect. You don't have to really go far for like to change anything up. Have a stable platform to be on. Um, Typically, it's true to weight because usually it's always, unless you have like a double handle one. Um, it's pretty easy to judge the weight on. I feel like it's easier to brace as well. Because I don't. So half the time I hate putting my hand up if I'm doing a dumbbell row. I hate putting my hand up and having to adjust
Yeah.
my feet. And when I'm doing a cable row, I'm just sitting down. And I just not just get my legs straight out and just sit straight up. That's basically it. Um, and I just feel like I get a better contraction out of the movement too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think I pretty much agree with everything you said. It you get all the benefits of these two exercises behind it, like the bent over row and the dumbbell row, but you don't have to worry about the limitations.
mhm.
Because it's very like you're automatically stabilized, automatically in the right position. You just have to just pull. Um, and so it gives you better range of motion, better stability, pretty easy to use, very low risk of injury. Um, but still you're able to overload and get a lot of stimulus from it too. Um, so yeah, I think it's a really good exercise that in almost all cases would be good to have or good to
Yeah,
do.
and it's like it kind of you don't have that ability to like how a dumbbell row would be to move your arm out anywhere. So I mean, like
Hmm.
you can on a dumbbell row, you can move your arm here, do a row. You can do it here. Um, but when you're doing a cable row, you're stuck where the handles are essentially. So like you can't bring your elbows up because unless you have like a one that can adjustable grips
Hmm.
to put it that way. But like when you choose your range of motion, you have your range of motion. You don't have to. You're not like jerking it. You're not having to pull like like a dumbbell row, like I said, and then almost essentially guess on like, okay, what's the
Yeah,
right spot? Like cable row, you're here. This is your right. This is what you chose, and you're here the whole time.
and
And
another thing is that it's because it's a cable, you're getting like that constant tension even on the way back down
right.
into the stretch, whereas where it's like a barbell, you're fighting gravity coming down, so you're not getting that same tension.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I definitely think it should be there and ahead of those probably too.
Yeah.
Um, so now I mean it's the same thing, but like the single arm variation. So if it's a single handle on a cable, pulling in.
Yeah, single arm cable row, I'd say that definitely put that right next to that because then it just helps you focus on that isolation. And then, like I said, that constant tension on the cable really helps you learn that mind muscle connection better than a dumbbell would.
Hmm.
Because eventually, when it starts getting heavy enough, you don't know it's, you're pulling it up, but then when we get to the top, we all know no one's pausing at the top and then coming slow on the way,
Right.
slow on the way back down. Um, So it helps you. I just feel like it helps you learn that mind muscle connection better because you always constantly have that tension as you're pulling. Like, yeah, you could jerk it, but at the end of the day, it's very easy just to pull it via by your elbow and pull it to where you want it to be,
Yeah,
and
it's
having
definitely
that
much
tension there.
it's definitely much harder to cheat on it versus like a dumbbell row. You can use a lot of momentum on that and just pull it wherever. So yeah, I think it's definitely more beginner friendly. Keeps you in
And
a
you can set
strict.
it up, and you can set it up differently as well because typically, people also can sit behind the bench and put the bench where their hip is, and then use
Yeah.
that as a brace. Um, Dumbbells, you don't have that much grace when it comes to a setup. You kind of just standing standing on your own, um, and having your hand up wherever you want to put your hand up. Or even sometimes I mean, you don't have to even use hands, which is more of in my opinion, more of an advanced thing anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so machine pullovers. So this one like where you sit in it. You're
Yeah. Machine pullovers. Um, I say pre-wings for this one.
yeah. I'm actually not a huge fan of those.
I had like one machine that I used in New York and that was it. Um, when it came to machine pullovers. I never really got a great mind muscle connection out of it. Tried different ways of pulling it down, pulling it over. I just never got that feeling in my lats to where like, oh, this is like really warming my back up or even like a great finisher. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah, no, me too. And then, this coming from both of us who've been working out for, over a decade. I've also never maybe had used it like one or two times in my life where it felt decent. But most of the times I don't feel the same level of like contraction or stretch as like I would have with a cable. So I
All
always
right.
do like one set of there. I'm like, this doesn't feel like good. And I go to the cables. Um, so yeah, I mean, if we're both having that experience, then yeah, I think there's probably, um, something there. So then we'll go to the cable pullover. So now we're what I guess you use a lot of different attachments you can use, but let's just say with like a straight bar
Mhm.
pullover.
I probably put that, um, I probably put that, I probably put that up, 'cause that's great, a great warm up and a great finisher
Hmm.
for me. Um, but to me, I probably just put in pre wings, but I put it over machine pullovers. Because as a main lift, no, I wouldn't have it as a main lift.
Would you have it as a main lift over single arm cable rows?
So single arm cable rows, nah, not really. Cause I feel like I get a better range of motion out of single arm cable rows. Um, they're both cables and they both have the constant tension, but when you bring the bar down to your waist
Hmm.
or the grip to your waist, so you have that limited range. Or you could have wider and bring it back further, but like, your hands are down at your sides then, and I'm like, I'd rather be able to
Pull
pull
it.
pull it here and it really drive my elbow into my side. Because if I have to pull out here to get the range of motion, because I'm gonna hit my legs if I keep it inward,
Hmm.
the more inward for seated cable rows, I want to be in here. So I like to lean here and have it go straight into my pull, like straight into my lat, like right here. So that's a key
Okay.
thing. That's a key thing for me. So even if like I'm doing something, I mean, seated cable, and then on top of that, single arm cable, you can do it various various ways. You can be up here with it. You can be
Hmm.
here. You can be here. The cable pullover has its uses, but you don't get much variation out of it. You're not going to be sitting here trying to hit your upper traps with a with a cable pullover or your middle back, or I mean you're hitting your lats, but you're not going to try to hit your lower back with this either.
Sure. Yeah. No, I can see that now. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite exercises. Like I do it every single back day. On both back days every week. But if you look at it as a main exercise, I think I agree. Like it's not like you can never do that as your main back movement, but it is a great
Mhm.
exercise. So yeah, no, I think I agree. It does. I think it probably. What
What do
part
you
of your
think?
back do you think is primarily worked with that?
Your lats. And
Okay.
maybe a tiny. I mean, depending on how far you even go up, because some people don't even go up all the way.
Yeah.
But it's like they'll like stop at their eye level. Like some people even like I do it sometimes. I'll go all the way up past that
Yeah.
above my head.
Like my chest is
Yeah,
like
but you'll hit your
almost like
traps.
parallel with
Yeah, you're
the
kind of
ground. So
almost
it's like,
you're kind of like hitting your traps a bit when you reach the top to here.
hmm.
That's almost like essentially like a face pull, basically. Um,
Yeah. Then when you come down, it's like it is a lot of lats, and you when you squeeze in the back,
yeah, you can
I
contract, but
actually,
but it's just like, mm, you could do
yeah, I don't know.
pretty hard contraction to get more of your back activated than just your lats in this movement.
Yeah, yeah. I guess if you had to do only that, or like a cable row, single car cable row would probably be better for total back development.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, close grip cable pull down. So
So pull down.
you know like I don't even know what that handle. What's the handle
I know
called?
what you mean. Yeah, the V bar.
Yeah, yeah, the V bar.
Mhm.
So yeah, pulling it down to your chest like that.
This is great. I mean, for your upper back and your lats. Um, but just for your overall back development, and so I'd probably say it has its uses. I would say probably pre wings, but I put over cable pullovers. Yeah. because you do hit your lats, you can't hit your upper back with this a bit, and really overload it as well. Um, and get a really good stretch out of it. Um, but I just feel like I said, it's only really limited to two things. Um, there's not much variation either. So for that reasoning alone, it's kind of just
Yeah, single
that
use.
for me. Yeah, single like there's only two things like you're really aiming at for that.
Yeah, so yeah, great exercise for what it's designed to do, but yeah, it's as a main exercise, you probably can't use that by itself.
Yeah,
But it does have its use cases for sure. Okay, so now we're going to like the plate loaded underhand. So when you're holding it like this, and then come bring it in, bring it down.
yeah. Plate loaded. So I probably say pull down. You're talking about single arm or so it's
I guess
just
you can
or
do it both, right? You can do it single
both?
or double.
Yeah, because some of them I
But
know like you can do double with plate loaded, but that's so but I'd probably say then I put this probably pre-winged, but put it above close grip cable pull downs just because of that the aspect of then you can also isolate each side, um, which is just better for your range of motion as well. You're not really relying on just one specific spot and then trying to do it. You're also, like I said, you can lean into it. You can adjust yourself better to that movement. So yeah, that's why I put it above that. Put above close grip, cable pull downs.
yes. Okay, so I'm noticing that you're all the like horizontal rowing, you're
Mhm.
going a lot higher than like the vertical pulling. So why is that?
Horizontal, I feel like you can also you can brace better. You just have a better brace. You're not really relying on trying to pull something down
Mhm,
because you're pulling in both planes. But I feel like when I do it personally, I get less bicep activation out of doing things horizontally than vertically.
mhm.
Um, that's just me. But also too, it's some of these things. Well, that's why I'm also putting the single arm stuff ahead of a lot of stuff because also range of motion purposes as well. Um, that's just my thing. Range of motion and what can I use to really isolate certain body parts, and also on top of that, have a lot of variety along with that as well. So if I'm doing a
Okay.
single arm horizontal, I can do here. I can do my lat. I can hit um my middle of my back, and then do even a high variation as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good explanation. Um, all right, so next we have the Smith variation of a barbell row. So same bent over barbell rows, but using a Smith machine.
So especially barbell row. Okay. I mean they have their uses, but it's not like a go to for me. So I mean, I'd probably put that in pre wings.
Okay.
I don't know where, but I definitely put it in pre wings.
And then Smith, would you put Smith rack pull in the same area?
Honestly, yeah, I put that at the Smith rack pull. Yeah, put it in the
Actually, since we only have 15, I'm gonna say we can't have more than 5 in each category. So we gotta start
five
bumping
five.
some. Yeah, we gotta start
Yes,
bumping
I
some
bumped
to other
some.
ones.
So I say put machine pullover and pencil back, and then Smith. Yeah, put that there.
Okay. So why Smith machine one so low?
Because it ends up being really rigid. Why have a Smith machine? What I don't even see the purpose of even doing a Smith machine rack pull because unless that's like literally your only machine in the gym, you have no free barbells
Hmm.
in a rack to put it in. Because if you think about it, how are you actually pulling through this movement besides just literally bringing it straight up and straight down? Like you're literally have to pull your body into the machine and push against a static, straight up and down movement unless you have an angled one.
Hmm.
Um, because they vary. Not everybody has an angled one. Um, you're like really rigid in your movement. And when you're rigid like that, you're more or less fighting with your grip more than you're actually hitting the contracted, like pulling through properly, contracting properly, in my opinion. Because if like say like this, if I'm doing a incline bench press on Smith machine, I'm literally going down, I'm going straight back up. That's
Hmm.
just one movement. But rack pulls, you're bent over, and then you have to then keep the bar against your leg while pulling, arching your back, rotating your shoulders back, tracking your back, staying straight up. And I'm like, what's the point of that? Just like,
Why limit yourself to that straight up
yeah,
and
why
down
limit yourself to
range?
like a really rigid range of motion to where like you're fighting with the machine more than you're actually fighting against like
The
actually
weight
just
and the
get
tension.
yeah the weight and getting it up
Okay.
and perform like you're fighting with the not fighting with the contraction and then like going through the movement properly and you're trying to like now pull yourself into a machine's range of motion and like just it's really rigid.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's a good explanation. That makes sense. Okay. Next up, we have the cable lat pull down.
Cable lat pull down.
Yeah.
No, I probably have to move something. So I say, jeez, this is a hard one now.
So where would you put it if you weren't having to move stuff? What's your initial reaction?
I probably put it in silverback. Yeah, I put it
Okay.
in silverback.
So let's just go ahead and do both of these. So if we're trying to decide between cable and plate loaded pull downs, which one is better?
Cable or plate loaded? Ooh. I like cable better because sometimes some of the plate loaded machines have this weird have this weird have a weird movement to them to where sometimes it like takes the tension off of certain spots. Like if you get it halfway down, it's heavy, but then when you pull the rest through, it's not. That constant tension for some odd reason, the way they have them built isn't there sometimes.
Hmm.
With cables, more or less, it's the pulley the entire time. Um, just the way how they're made and how their range of motion is. Some like I said, sometimes play loaded stuff like you even have like how Prime has their stuff set up. Like you got to
Hmm.
load it in different spots to feel different tension and difference. I'm like sometimes that stuff just is like, bro, what am I doing? I might as well just like I said, like just do a cable where that way it's just constant tension the entire time. Because why do I want the same tension all the way through, feeling the weight properly. I don't want to feel like, oh, this is like 45 pounds. And then when I get to the last bit of range of motion, like after 50%, I now I have like 115 pounds. I'm like,
Hmm.
that don't make no sense to me. Why make it sometimes that stuff makes it easier to get into a position, which I mean has its uses, but at the end of the day, for a main movement, I just prefer a cable because I'll get that. I know what the weight is. It's simpler to understand. Um, and in that range of motion, sometimes, like I said, the machines is consistent.
So you would put cable here, and you would put where would you put the plate loaded then?
I put plate loaded, yeah,
In
pre
pre wings.
wings, yeah, and then a plate loaded row. Huh, I did a plate loaded. Um, I put that in pre wings as well.
Really? Okay, so
Yeah,
I think six has got to be the limit. So you got to bump something else down now. Then
that's what I was now. Yeah, close grip cable pull down.
you're gonna bump that to pencil back.
Yeah.
Okay, and you put this here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would put that a lot higher.
Liar.
Personally, just because I mean I think it's better than like a single arm cable row because it's like easier to for me the plate loaded ones even for the pull downs maybe it's because my mobility is so bad but like I feel like the motion feels more natural because like if
Mm-hmm.
when you do like your back day after you do like your deadlift or rack pull or something what's the next machine you go to is it a
I mean,
cable row or is it a plate loaded
it's it's Typically, I like I said, after a rack pull, I'll do like a T-bar row or I'll do a barbell row.
Okay. And then after that one?
And after that one, then I'll head over to like cables and like something like I can do like isolation, a lot more isolation movements. Um, so I'll probably hit. I mean, typically it is a cable, like a lat pull
Okay.
down or something. Um, but then then after that, then I'd probably hit a plate loaded row or something like that.
Like if you were to come into a back day, right, and you were to only choose one of like a single arm cable row or a plate loaded row for your entire back day, which one would you choose? Or a dumbbell row
Um,
versus a plate loaded row?
man, I probably end up doing a single arm. I probably end up doing a cable.
Like a single arm cable row, you would do that so your entire back day, like
Yeah, because then I can hit a lot more. I can hit a lot more. For one, I can pull it to where I want to pull it.
mhm.
I don't need to sit here and just like, okay, this is the range of motion. It's here. 'Cause I'm using cable for constant tension and also isolation. So if I'm doing a cable, or if I'm doing, I can do a single arm and I can do um, both hands if I wanted to.
On a
Um,
single,
you could do that. You could do that sometimes too with a machine, depending
yeah,
if
because
it's
most
ice.
machines will have you can do single or double.
Yeah. So, but I just feel like if I'm doing a single arm cable row, if it was cable or a plate row,
Mhm.
that be able to have that different range of motion and be able to adjust the way I need if I'm not feeling it properly, then I can really adjust. I'm not really just stuck into a position with a machine and just going the which way it wants me to go. Because some machines you'll have to come outwards. I've said this before. You got to come outwards. It has like angles out. It doesn't always angle straight in. Um, so I mean, for me, it's like cable. You just get more free range of motion with that and the constant tension and everything.
Okay, and what about
Um,
dumbbell rows?
dumbbell, dumbbell rows.
If you had to do only dumbbell rows your whole back day or a plate load row your whole back day, which one would you choose? You would still do dumbbell row over that?
Um, just in turn, well, and also depends on the machine too, because some machines I can really, really overload, and some stuff you can't. And if you're stuck with dumbbells, I mean, you're just kind of moving up the weight tree with that. Mm,
Let's assume it's a good machine.
I'd probably do plate loaded.
So would you swap them then? Like if you were to choose one exercise for someone's back day, like you have a client that say I only have time to do one thing, would you put them on dumbbell rows or plate loaded?
Mm, probably plate loaded,
Okay,
just for consistency purposes, just to like just feel like I'm more comfortable with them doing
because it's easier
a
to.
machine. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't. You gotta watch people because people just don't do dumbbell rows properly. They
Yeah,
just
I think that's a big
shoot,
limitation of that one.
Ramon Dino does dumbbell rows horribly. That's why that's why his back was lacking for a lot of times. I watched him do rows. I was like, this is bad.
That's probably why his arms are so big too. His forearms
Yeah,
and
I'm like
arms.
you're constantly like gripping the like the life out of them, and then you're yanking them up, yanking them up. Like, yeah, yanking them up is good, and you're like, oh yeah, you probably feeling it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, um, let's are these ranked properly within them? So deadlift over rack pulls. You said
Hmm.
yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this tier, how would you rank them within the tier?
Um. Cable row, single arm cable row, plate load row. Yeah, I rank him just like this.
Okay.
Yep.
And then pre wings, uh,
Uh,
underhand cable Smith. You'd probably do that, right?
yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll put it up there. Yeah.
And would you put the dumbbell row before or after the
Over
Smith
Smith.
stuff?
Yeah, yeah. I put over Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um.
Just like that.
Okay. So give me a quick 2 minute summary of why you put everything where you put it and why.
Deadlifts over rack pulls because you get more out of it. It is hard to to master essentially, but when you do master it, it's very beneficial for your entire posterior chain. It's if you're just focusing also on back, back aspect of it, you have a longer time under tension when you're getting it from the floor up over your knees and standing erect straight up. Rack pulls is basically the that cut in half. So you can overload it. You can do the same range of motion, but you're just cutting out the legs portion part of it. And yeah, so, but I feel like deadlifts is way more, like I said, useful when it comes to it doesn't rack pulls doesn't have that range of motion when you're down below the knee. Um,
So here we have basically all the rowing stuff. So I guess just describe why you put all the rowing stuff and cable lat pull downs over all the pull downs, pullovers.
um, because really it's so when I do a rowing motion, like I said, like you can get out of it, a lot more out of it when I mean even when it comes to play stuff, I just feel like the more constant tension when it comes to cable machines is better than like I said, there's some aspects of plate loaded machines that are have different tension fields per se, to where you can feel a weight a certain way from one spot, and then when you do the rest of the movement, it feels a different way in another spot. Um, and even most gyms have more cable machines anyway than plate loaded machines. So it's just also something that also a learning aspect. You'll be using it a lot more.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, so you may go into
Yeah. And these
well,
three are here because dumbbell rows are typically done really pretty incorrectly.
mm,
Hard to feel contraction.
yeah,
Um, Smith machines are here because of the limited
range of
plane.
most, yeah,
Yeah. The limited
plenty
plane
of,
of motion.
yeah, and then
These two because you would never. So machine pullovers just because cables are so much better and
mhm,
universal. So you never really need to do this. And then why is this one down here?
close grip. Kill point out. It's because it has its uses, but I wouldn't say, oh, do this for your entire back workout.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
and it's like you can load it up, but I never felt like this was like, okay, this is something that's gonna take my back to the next level. So yeah, I even can max out a machine doing it, time under tension, the whole nine.
Hmm.
Like I said, it has its uses, but I just feel like also performing it correctly too, because some people even do it, they're seated all the way in. Some
Hmm.
people do it, they're seated all the way out, with just the pads above their knees. So you get of a variety, a bit of a variety out of it. But I just feel like too, it's not, it's really just strictly put towards your lats and your traps.
So a little too limited in its use
Yeah,
case
yeah, a little
compared
too
to the other
limited.
things.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so one more exercise we have to put on here is pull ups. So Jordan, where would you put pull ups on this list?
I put pull ups. That's that's Boeing 747. That's a key staple for me. Um, Warm ups. You could do those weighted. You could do those close grip, underhand grip. A lot of variations out of that. Wide grip, of course. Um, Weighted, unweighted. Um, and to go for your warm up, you can do that as a finisher as well. Even if want to do something in between, you can do that in the middle of your workout as well. Very versatile.
Yeah, I mean, I actually do think that if you just did pull ups and got really good at pull ups, you would have a pretty good back.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, yeah, that aspect as well. The body weight, mastering your body weight, is key.
yeah, so like if you're a beginner, obviously you may have to do maybe some negatives or things like that to get started. If you can't do a single pull up yet, there's a
Right.
couple exercises you can do with that to be able to do one. But once you're able to do one, then it's easier to get to the next ones. And if you just keep progressively overloading with pull ups, you can build a pretty good back just from that in isolation too. Especially because there are so many variations of doing it, and once you do master it completely, you get to like 20, which is already take forever. Then you can start adding weight um, and continue to grow on that too.
Right.
Okay. Yes, that's the total back day tier list. We're going to go ahead and publish this tier list. You can actually go rank your own version of this and do your own and share it with us. Also, Jordan is on Proseek. So if you go to Proseek, download the app in the App Store, or go to the website proseek.org, you can find all the IFBB pros near you, including Jordan if you're in the South Jersey area, or he also does a lot of virtual services like virtual posing. And do you do online coaching too?
Yeah, a little bit of online coaching as well. Yes.
Yes. So if you need a coach, he does online coaching, and he does probably one of the best posers in men's physique. So
Oh, appreciate that.
virtual posing, he offers that too. So if and I've seen him work with people hands on, in real life at seminars. And Jordan does a really great job of breaking things down and helping you with posing. So find him on Proseek, go to his profile, check out his availability. Also the Proseek Q&A. We have a public forum where you can ask IFBB pros like Jordan and everyone else, all the other pros on Proseek, for $5 a month. So literally for the price of a Big Mac, you can ask unlimited questions to IFBB pros and get answers for all of it. So go there, subscribe for free for 60 days, and please comment, like, subscribe. Let us know if you agree or disagree with Jordan's take on these. And we will be back next week for another tier list. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.